Today on Morning Drive, aloha, we bring you the magic, the majesty, the mystery of Hawaii. The PGA Tour is on Maui, and we have the pictures to prove it. Also, travel advice for you if you'd like to one day visit the 50th state in the Union. And also, Lydia Ko in studio today. It's all ahead on Morning Drive. Mahalo. Aloha, good morning. Welcome into Morning Drive Tuesday, January the 3rd, the year 2017. This is Studio AP, Damon Hack alongside our LPGA veteran Paige McKenzie. The insider Tim Roosevelt making his first appearance in AP in 2017. Happy New Year, my friend.
Same to you, my friend. Aloha. Great to be back here working, a little golfed out after Christmas vacation, which is a good thing to say. And almost breaking 80 again.
Very
thanks to some of the tips that I've learned from Paige watching this show. And but ready to get back to work. Excited about this year.
Almost breaking 80. I love it.
He's making a lot of people jealous up north that are covered in snow, saying he's burnt out January 3rd.
Yeah, people in Buffalo not very happy with you on this Tuesday
Sorry about
morning.
that. I got to go to sensitivity training for the cold weather climates, I guess.
No doubt. We got lots to do. A big 2-hour show. Let's say good morning to a familiar face to our Golf Channel viewers, but not in Studio AP. She is Chantel McCabe. Good morning, Chantel.
Damon, good morning. This was a very early wake up for me, but there's no one else I'd rather spend my morning with than all of you. But let's take a look at today's tee sheet. She's a 2-time major champion, has multiple impressive accolades, a fun personality, and only 19 years old. Yes, Lydia Ko will be live in studio this morning. She's undergone several changes with her game. She'll be here to discuss that and what's ahead for her in 2017. And the Web.com tour will get things underway in the Bahamas next week. 2 stops added to the schedule on the island. And the Web.com tour also added a new name as President Dan Glad, who will be here in studio talking about some intriguing changes ahead. Plus, Fairways of Life host Matt Adams will make sure you're prepared for playing in the cold, windy, or wet conditions. Just because it's winter doesn't mean that your game gets a break. He's got you covered with the latest weather gear. And it may be chilly here or where you are, but it's a comfortable 79 degrees in Hawaii, where the first PGA Tour event of 2017 is this week. World number 1 Jason Day makes his return at the SBS Tournament of Champions, where we find our own Todd Lewis joined by Mark Rothling.
Thank you. I'm on this man's island. That, of course, is Mark Rolfing, who's been here in Maui and Kapalua for 40 years. This is his 41st here at Kapalua. And I want to talk about a guy who seems to play very well here, and that is Jordan Spieth, the defending champion. And if you look at the statistics over the years that he's been coming here, he really performs well. Why does he like this golf course, in your opinion, so much?
Well, there's a couple of reasons, Todd. I mean, first of all, he is the greatest putter in the world. There's no doubt about it. And putting is such a premium here. Even with all the rain that we've had early in the week, the greens are still quite firm, and they're going to be fast. And he is just such a good lag putter. These are the biggest greens on the PGA Tour, and lag putting is so important. So that is a huge, huge premium for Jordan Spieth. But I think more than anything, it's his attitude. He comes early every year. He's usually here at least 4 or 5 days before tournament week even starts. He's just got a great sort of karma going around the plantation course. He has never, after any round, been any worse than first or second place in the Tournament of Champions. So he just feels really good. He's got a little bit of the Hawaiian spirit in him, and he knows he can play well here and does every time he tees off.
Yeah, I agree with you. Not only is he prepared, but he's also very cerebral as he makes it around not only this course, but it seems every golf course. And if you ask him, he won twice in 2016. He's probably going to say it was a little bit disappointing. What are you expecting from Jordan in 2017?
I'm expecting a different kind of a year. He wins by 8 shots here and then goes around and does a few things, probably schedule-wise, that I don't think you'll ever see him do again. I fully expect him, if he doesn't win, to be real close to challenging here at Kapalua, but I think you will see him have more of a planned out year and kind of slowly work his way through the season a little bit more. You know, his iron game, I think, is going to be a question. That's what he's been working on really hard. Driving the ball well and obviously putting good, but he didn't hit as many good iron shots a year ago as he would have liked to have hit, and I think he's worked hard on it, and I'm expecting a great year out of Jordan Spieth.
If he hits fairways and greens the way he putts, he's going to be very, very dangerous. Mark Rolfing, appreciate your time as always. I'm Todd Lewis. Let's go back to Studio AP.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Nobody has a better career scoring average at the Plantation course than Jordan Spieth, a nice 67. In fact, he also averages more birdies and eagles per round there than anyone, 6.3. That's better than Dustin Johnson, who averages 6. Now, that's going to bring us to a fill-in-the-blank episode starring Jordan Spieth, Paige McKenzie, and Tim Rosenfort. The biggest reason Jordan Spieth will defend his title this week is blank, Paige.
Did you just see the thing on the screen?
That box with all the numbers?
About history, about his confidence here, about his scoring average here. The biggest reason that he has a chance to defend this week is just the fact that he has played so well on this golf course.
Well, he learned from last year. There's no question about that. And Mark referenced the scheduling part of it. And this is something Tiger Woods went through, too, as well. You think back to the 98 season, coming off the Masters, he's placed 24 times. And in writing a book about him through that phase and covering for Golf World, that's when he really had to take a look at things with his Mark Steinberg, his agent. He got it down to 19 events in 2003. But checking in with his performance coach last night, Damon Goddard out of Kapalua, sent me a late text. It said, physically, we've reached an increased capacity that we've never seen before. He's been incredibly diligent with his offseason, and it is showing in his performance metrics. You got to get the metric in there, right? Mentally, we're very well prepared to work off the momentum from last year. Remember the win at the Australian Open, and he understands his platform now is much deeper, at a deeper level. So that's a lot of physiology talk about a mistake that he made last year, perhaps, just a growing pain experience. Yeah. And I think he's going to not only be fresh for this week, but throughout the course of the season.
Well, that brings us to our next question. What is the biggest concern for Jordan Spieth? The biggest concern in 2017 is blank, Tim Rosenfort.
The only concern I have is that somebody steals his putter. I'm not worried about Jordan. I think he's got so much talent, and they're not going to steal his stroke. So I'm sure Scotty Cameron will replace that.
Security, bon qui qui. Security, just keep that putter safe. He's going to be fine.
That is a much more elegant way than I would have said, which is just his putting in general, because it is such a strength of his. This is something that he relies on so much in his game. He has to have it working. He can ride out the highs and the lows of his ball striking, as we've seen over the last couple of seasons, but has to have that putter working to be as successful as we've come to expect him to be.
Now, yesterday we talked about Rory McIlroy and Jason Day. You gave a boatload of major championships to Rory McIlroy. You're very bullish on his year. So I'm going to ask you, Jordan Spieth will win blank number of majors in 2017.
I've got 0.
Wow.
But not because I don't think he's going to have a great year. There's so many players to choose from. I mean, I've got Dustin Johnson winning one. I think Rory McIlroy is going to win one. Obviously, Jason Day could be up there as another name in contention. So it's not that I have less faith in Jordan Spieth. I just have some other players playing better.
They're only 4 a year.
Right. I'm going to say Paige, because the depth of talent 1 through almost 20 right now. If you got a guy like Koepka down at 16 at this point in time, he's capable of getting in the top 10. So you can't say he's not going to win one, but it's hard to say more than one because his best is not going to happen every week. Just as Jason Day's best, just as Rory McIlroy's best, just as Dustin Johnson's best, and if I left anybody out, you know who you are.
Matsuyama's
a good one too. 2 years in a row, though, without a major for Spieth, I don't see it. I think he's going to knock one out.
That's what I'm saying. Get one.
Absolutely. Let's keep talking about Spieth in putting. We sent it down to our Golf Channel Academy lead coach, Travis Fulton, on the virtual green, putting green in Studio A. Good morning, Travis.
That's right. This thing is really nice. Loving this new virtual green. And Jordan Spieth, of course, when you talk Spieth, you got to talk about the putter because he is one of the best in the world. And when I watch Jordan Spieth putt, what stands out to me is his distance control. Statistically, he is terrific when you look at that mid-range putting from 15 to 25 feet, but then also the approach putting. He consistently rolls it inside of 2 feet. So his distance control, I think, is the best in the world. And I want to show you a couple things that I think you can learn from Jordan Spieth. And we're going to pull up a little video here. And this is a putt here. It's about 15 feet. And what I want you to take notice of first is the frame of the stroke. Now, I'm going to put a line here to represent where the putter head starts. Now, from here, Jordan takes on what we call a 2-to-1 ratio. The backstroke is twice as long as the forward stroke. So we're going to take Jordan back, and as he swings it back, we're going to stop it at the end of the stroke right here, just outside of his right foot. And you can see there's the red line. So there's his back swing. And then from there, he's going to swing it through, and we're going to stop it at the finish position right there. And of course, now there's the green line. So you can see the distance from where it started, the white line, to the end of the stroke, the red, is twice as long as it is where it started, the white line, to the end of the stroke in the green. So that's a 2-to-1 ratio. And I point that out because I think a lot of amateurs and a lot of viewers at home think it's the other way around, in that it's a 1-to-2 ratio. If you commit more to 2-to-1, doesn't have to be a perfect ratio. I think what it does is it helps hit it more in the center of the face. And that's the first thing when you're putting and you want good distance control like Jordan Spieth, is you got to hit it in the center of the face. So I'm going to go 2-to-1, and I catch it more in the center of the face, and that's key. Now, the second thing with Jordan is when you look at the acceleration of his putter head through impact, it's flat lines. It maintains a consistent pace through the hitting zone. It's not accelerating, it's not decelerating. It maintains a very consistent pace through the stroke. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio, but he works really hard on keeping the pace of the putter head consistent through the hitting area. If you can do that, then you get good feedback once you hit a putt. Now, a lot of you at home, of course, we get a little bit of where we get a little extra in there and we kind of goose it a little bit. And then others, we get very long going back and then we take on a deceleration phase. And all that kind of jumbles the mind a little bit as far as feedback. So when you look at Spieth this week, look at the 2-to-1 ratio, look at how he maintains a very even acceleration, or a very even pace rather, through the hitting area. Those are two things that lead to solid contact and really good distance control. Rosie, I know you can learn from that this year. I'm not so sure about our boy Matty G.
Thank you, Travis. Good morning to you and Happy New Year to you at home. Coming up, I spent another 200+ days on the road in 2016. Today, I'm sharing 18 images and anecdotes from those travels. Plus, Paige and I are talking Hawaii and why it's consistently ranked as the least stressed and happiest state in America. And on the social front, have you played golf in Hawaii? If so, send in your favorite picture from your trip to GC Morning Drive, and we'll share some throughout the show. Damon, what else do you have?
A lot of great stuff, Matty G. How about Lydia Ko returning to Morning Drive in studio to talk about all the changes to her team, to her golf bag, and what is new with Lydia in 2017. She will tell you, she will tell all of us, coming up on this Tuesday edition of Morning Drive. We're back after this.